first game relatively comfortably, but it added to the excitement that we had the decider, and the Brazilians loved that at the end. They celebrated wildly to get through to the semi-finals of co-op today.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you more about the co-ops as and when they come after the 1v1 group stages. We will, of course, go to that co-op straight knockout, semi-finals, 4 teams, then the final, and then we'll go back to the 1v1s, knockouts.
Semis and final.
Yes, of course. And we will talk, as I said, a lot more about the co-ops, but there are some big names in there as well, including Total Football. And of course, the men from Italy and Spain, Broken Silence, Neo Esports from France, wrapping up the final teams with the Brazilians in top PES. Brazil, A squad, because there was a B squad as well.
As you can see, this is a PSG Arsenal battle, and Mbappe will be playing for the PSG of Tio Meat, slightly wide. Angel Di Maria as well. Kind of a 4-4-2, sort of.
So do you think he's going to be able to work out what he was doing wrong defensively for those 4 goals, which were all exactly the same in that first game? And do you think Jose would have been watching that?
Definitely.
How do you see it's going to pan out?
Jose will know that, and if he wasn't watching it in detail, he'll have friends who I'm sure would have messaged him. If you look, though, you've got Rabiot, who can drop a bit deeper to add a 3rd layer of protection in the middle of defence, so maybe that will be one of his tactics to try and
It does certainly seem
it.
He's dropped him a little bit deeper, possibly looking to stifle the number 10, who's creating the pass, because it's almost like you break the service, don't you? You stop the service, you stop the goal, so possibly might be trying that with Rabiot there.
And then we can see, obviously, there's quite a strong 3 in midfield for the Arsenal side of Jose SG. So is he trying to sort of block the midfield to stop the pressure from PSG?
Possibly. What is interesting is he's not electing to go so far anyway with a number 10, which caused Tiamat so many problems in that first game. As I say that, he's changing it because he's heard me. He knows. No, and that's something you'll notice as well with these guys. When they start doing their formations, they'll then watch what the other player does. And
well, we've seen changes here, haven't we? Yeah. But then, as a player, are you better to do that and to react to your opponent, or are you better to just say, no, this is what I'm going to do and have that confidence?
This is the, you know, it's the age-old question, and it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Every game is completely different, and when it works they'll say, oh well, that's because of what I did, and when it doesn't work they'll brush it off as something else. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether that specific goal comes about today that caused Tiamat so many problems in that opening game. And of course, you've got to remember the pressure really is on Tiamat, but it's probably more on Jose, who lost his first game.
So Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain, the Tio Meat PSG facing Jose SG's Arsenal.
And actually, it's interesting to note that Tiamat's playing a 4-4-2. Obviously, Rabiot is dropping deeper, but it's a fairly flat 4-4-2, which is quite rare on the tour. Most of them go with a 4-3-3. And actually, Jose has gone very narrow. And again, that might be going back to what we were talking about. The chip-through ball, narrow, 3 players that any one of them could pick up that ball over the top. It could cause them all sorts of problems in that area with only 2 centre-backs. So
we are almost ready for this to get underway, and we will keep you updated too on the F Mestre Mayageka battle as well, the other match in Group A. Mayageka won against Jose SG 3-1 in his first match, so he goes into that clash with F Mestre confident. He needs a win, really. He did avoid defeat in his opener F Mestre against Tio Meat, but a draw is almost like a defeat, isn't it, in many ways?
Absolutely.
Having covered a lot of La Liga in my time, the great races we've had for the title between Barcelona and Real Madrid have often come down to games drawn as opposed to games that the teams have actually lost throughout the season. They're basically the same thing. You've got to win every match.
Absolutely, and Jose will know now that 3 points is almost a must, because 1 point probably won't be enough to go through after losing his first game, and he's got a formidable opponent in front of him in order to get those 3 points. It doesn't come much tougher than this.
And as you can see, JG United Arsenal in that other clash between F Mestre and Mayageka has started, but our attention will be focused on the stream with this Arsenal PSG battle.
Jose kicking from left to right in the home Arsenal strip of red and white. And of course, Tiamat from France playing as PSG in their home kit as well. A little jink there from Neymar.
Cavani with an early chance. The strength was there, but not quite good enough as Arsenal have possession. And I think we might just have had a goal in the other match. I heard a chant.
I think F. Mestre's got the first goal, and that has well and truly blown the whole group even more wide open. It's impossible to pick right now because Mayageka, who was topping that group with 3 points, is behind to F. Mestre, who, if he can win that, will be on 4 points. And then, of course, here we have 1 point for Tiamat and no points for Jose so far.
And there's
another headed goal.
A beautiful glancing header about a yard out from goal. Look what that means. And yeah, so we're sat in quite a big arena here in Barcelona, and it used to be a venue for bullfighting, and basically you can hear anything that's shouted just echoes around the place. So when we suddenly say, oh, we've heard a shout, that's because there has been a goal in this arena in Barca.
Absolutely. 10 minutes gone here, still deadlocked here, no goals to separate the two sides, no real chances. A slight sniff of a chance here now, though. Good defending again, and I was going to point out that Jose would probably be a little bit worried about how easy Tiamat got in down the left-hand side after the first couple of minutes, but since then he's managed to gain a bit of a foothold in the game and actually is beginning to dominate a bit of possession, and that is certainly something that Jose tends to do. If he's successful in a game, he is pretty good in keeping possession, whereas Tiamat is as dangerous without the ball as with it.
Rabiot to Mbappe, who's playing deep at this moment in time from his position on the left side, as we saw with the formation at the start of the match. And we've heard another shout.
It's a second goal for F. Mestre. 2-0 to the Brazilian. What a turn up for the books that is.
Yeah, that is a belting start in the opening, what, 20-25 minutes?
Yeah, I did, you know, obviously he was one of the four. Oh, we've got a penalty here. We missed that one. It's a booking for Mkhitaryan, and Neymar has the chance to give the Frenchman the lead.
So can Tiamat take control of this match from the spot? It's Neymar, and it's saved. Petr Cech with the save, diving to his left side. And that is a great moment for the goalkeeper.
What a strong left hand that was.
It was not the hardest penalty, was it, really? It wasn't struck firmly. I always think with penalties, you blast it top corner if you can, if you've got the technique.
I vaguely remember Tiamat missing a penalty in the Asia round as well, back in January. So I may be corrected on that, but that would be a real turn up for the books, especially if he were to go to a penalty shootout, for example, in the knockouts, if he were to get there, which at this moment in time, he's certainly not a shoo-in. There's been another goal. It's 3-0 to F. Mestre in the other game, and that group has now been blown wide open as F. Mestre has a 3-0 lead. As another chance here, it's come in and fired goalwards wide of the target. Mayageka is really suffering over there, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a really poor start to the match, you have to say, but a great start for F. Mestre. 3-0 he leads. It could be 4 or 5 by half-time, and you have to say at that point, with the mental fatigue that will obviously kick in because of the disappointment of being 5-0 down, it would be game over.
And we've seen some huge comebacks over the years in the PES League, but that would certainly take some doing for Mayageka, who, after winning that first game, would feel he was one of the favourites to go through. Now he's been checked by the Brazilian, who now tops that group with 4. If the results remain the same, Mayageka will be on 3. And if this was a draw, it would leave Tiamat. Oh, another chance there.
Another good save from Cech.
It would leave Tiamat on 2 points and Jose on 1 point. So it would then be who can catch F. Mestre, who would pretty much almost guarantee his route.
Cech again called into action from the Neymar corner.
The siege is on, isn't it, from Tiamat? Another chance here, half an hour gone. Swung in by the Argentinian Angel Di Maria. He didn't possibly have the World Cup he would have been hoping for.
Di Maria. Verratti. Swapping passes with Mbappe.
Oh,
he's still got possession on his right side. He goes for goal. What a terrific opener in this match for PSG. Marco Verratti getting the goal from outside of the box, and it's advantage to Thiaumite.
And that is why this Frenchman is so dangerous, because he's not really created anything. But if you give him a sniff, and that's exactly what Jose did, he made a little mistake just on the edge of his own area, and in the blink of an eye, bang, 1-0 to Thiaumite, and now he has that uphill task of changing it from 0 to 1-1, and he certainly doesn't want to be conceding a second, otherwise the Frenchman could be well and truly home and dry.
It's always a gamble when you take the ball in a bit of space on your wrong side and tee it up onto your right side, because of course you're taking longer to actually line up the shot, and obviously the chance of getting tackled is greater, but he did manage to avoid any defenders coming across, and a great finish to the bottom side of the goal.
That is something that guys watching at home, if you're looking to be a better PES player, sometimes that little touch to steady yourself in front of goal is just all the difference. A slightly off-balance shot obviously won't be as deadly as the ball gets played over the top. Good defending again from PSG, looking to respond instantly here, the Spaniard.
Mbembe seeking Neymar. Verratti. Meunier. Still PSG. Can they get a second before the break, or will Arsenal carve out an equaliser? Verratti to Di Maria. Di Maria's had plenty of possession in this opening 40 minutes. And he loses possession over on the far side.
So just a few minutes remaining here in the first half, and a second goal here for Thiaumite could be all the difference. Remember, in the first game, what's he given here? Is that a free kick fouled by Mustafi? Yes, it is. Remember, he conceded right at the end of the first half in his first game. Can he score likewise this time? And that could be very crucial.
Di Maria swapped in to take the free kick on his left side. Former Real Madrid, former Manchester United, former Benfica. And it's headed away comfortably by Arsenal, but still the danger is there, and Neymar forcing a one-handed save from Petr Cech. That's why you go to the gym, to build up your muscle strength.
Absolute
a great save.
Biceps of terror there from Petr Cech as the ball was going in the opposite direction to where he was diving. He flung out fingertips to turn it away, and those fingertips are all that is keeping Jose in this tie at this moment in time. Headed over the top, panic stations at the back for the Spaniard. As we're deep into added on time, can Thiaumite finally make... And there's Petr Cech again.
He caught it.
A one-man machine, and Jose is still in the game.
1-0 at the break to PSG, but you're totally right. Without Petr Cech, it would be 3 or 4.
Wow.
He's been the man of the match.
That he certainly is. That is some save. That tops off a stunning opening 45 minutes.
And meanwhile, in the other match between F. Mestre and Mayageka, I think it's still 3-0 to F. Mestre. Indeed it is. And we're into the second half, and just the top of the net there. Almost another goal in this encounter, also in Group A.
So we're back underway here in the second half between Thiaumite and Jose, and Thiaumite will be feeling like SOFIA was at the end of the game that we saw last, that he should be winning, and winning comfortably.
Verratti. Trading passes with Angel Di Maria. Cavani, Neymar. It's a cast of fine stars, this PSG team. Surely their day will come in Europe one time soon. They've got Gigi Buffon in goal, obviously, for next season.
Some name to add to the roster.
Nelson has Bellerin making a run, but he chooses to go inside instead to Maitland-Niles. Xhaka.
Certainly a legend of the game, Buffon, and of course you can get some legends in PES 2019 if you listen to the 3 key words of the day that will be suggested to you by the lovely Semra Hunter, our presenter for today. She'll be drip feeding you those 3 names, or words should I say, and you can go onto the website later on and put them in for your chance to get some legends in PES 2019 and some coins, or awesome coins, on the mobile game as another goal comes in. And just what we saw, just what we said, if you don't take your chances, Jose's back at you.
Aubameyang with the equaliser for Arsenal. It was a good save, to be fair, initially from the first chance, but no one was there to mark up. And it's now really game on, because we are locked in a 1-1 draw in this Group A encounter. As we see the highlights of the goal, the replay.
Yeah, and what's crucial about this, and we've seen it actually came off the foot of the post, I think, the reaction time. We've seen quite a few goals now where the reactions of the striker have been far quicker than the defender, and we've seen 3 or 4 rebound goals so far today.
It's a great goal.
Heel, I mean, that is absolutely majestic from Aubameyang, who started his life at Arsenal like a house on fire in a slightly, you know, they possibly didn't reach the highlights they would have wanted in Wenger's final season, but he certainly started pretty well, and will be looking to build on that this year.
Can they get another now? Nelson on the break for Arsenal and Jose SG. They are in dispossessed though by Mbappe again. He's back deep, the energetic teenager.
Now, we've never seen Tiamat trail in this game so far, and we haven't seen him trail in the tournament. So
if Cavani had just made that pass correctly to Neymar, that would have been a goal. Here is Neymar dinking it over to Cavani.
Oh, that's a collision. That looked painful, but it's still in the danger area.
Di Maria's shot is blocked. Now Verratti, busy and industrious as ever in the middle of the park. Still fighting is Verratti.
Anywhere will do from Mustafi there. Panic stations, hacked it out for a corner, but certainly Tiamat building that pressure again. Just sort of sucks the life out of you and just builds and builds until something until you make a mistake, which is what happened in the first game. The first half, and obviously took advantage with that outside of the right boot finish from Verratti, as Jose is looking to change something. He's actually now matched, notice what Tiamat's doing, and as I say that, he's probably going to change it. Now he's matched him with the 4-4-2 now from the 4-3-3, adding a bit more width to the team. So who is your money on, Andy? I want you to put your neck on the line, get off the fence.
I'm going to jump down from the French. Sorry, the fence.
See what you did there? You
no.
didn't mean that, but that was brilliant.
I'm going to go.
Oh, what a save!
I'm going to go with Tiamat. Yeah, I'm going to say that the Frenchman will come through against his Spanish rival.
I'm going to jump off the French as well and go with the Frenchman. But of course, we've seen Jose get that equalising goal, and if he can just perhaps get that little bit of luck that he didn't get in the opening goal for Tiamat, and he's not going to get it here, but it's a good save in the end from Petr Cech. You never know. Obviously, 20 minutes remaining, and Tiamat certainly won't want to draw another game after going in front like he did in the first game 4 times. This only once in this one, but nevertheless, he's never trailed, so to only finish with 2 points from 2 would be a bit disappointing.
Good defending from Rabiot, who we mentioned right at the start of the match, might drop deep in the centre to help out almost as an effective third centre-half at times. Di Maria to Cavani, back to Di Maria. Will Cavani be able to work out an opening to get a shot on goal? I
have been impressed with Jose's defending, to be honest, up against a formidable Tiamat, but he's left himself wide open this time. Curse of the commentator, and Neymar's shot comes back off the foot of the post, but still in the danger area, and that's wasteful from the Uruguayan. Andy, talk to me.
He should have scored. That should have been a goal. Come on, you have space, time, you're perfectly positioned in the middle. Goalkeeper central as well. Pick your side. He obviously went right, but just hit the post. Unlucky, but should have scored. And that could have been the goal.
Yeah, I mean, the usually unflappable Tiamat, he seems to be flapping a little bit in front of goal, and that's something we're not used to seeing. And in fact, we've seen that from a few of the big names. SOFIA being one of them. He missed quite a few chances in his game against Alex Alguacil. Even the best perhaps are suffering from that little bit of pressure in the group stages.
As the clock counts down, it's worth mentioning again, as we see, obviously, PSG attacking now through Cavani and Neymar!
He's got
into
it.
the net, and this is surely the victory now, sewn up in what's been a really tight match. Neymar gets the goal, 2-1 to PSG and Tiamit, and he's as calm and cool as ever.
Yeah, we say he's the Iceman, the Frenchman, with a stunning finish there through Neymar, who missed that chance 2 minutes earlier. Shot came back off the foot of the post, but he has maintained the pressure, that siege mentality, that sucking the life out of the opponent, and finally another chance comes his way. Petr Cech is furious because he's had one of those performances that you feel deserves all 3 points, and he's going to possibly end with nothing, because when you've got a player with Tiamit's ability, eventually it will tick.
The irony being there that winning goal came through the middle in exactly the manner that in that first match he kept losing goals.
Yeah, of course. We are just hearing from the tech team deep underneath. Yeah, you know what I mean. The tech team have just told us that, of course, 3-0 has finished in the game between Mayageka and F. Mestre. So
no goals second half.
Yeah, so no goals in that second half. All the damage was done by the Brazilian in the first half, and a great performance, really. And certainly now showing why he qualified for all 3 major regional finals.
Before that goal, we just saw the second goal for PSG, what will probably prove to be the winner. I was just about to say credit to Jose SG and Petr Cech, because there was a time in that first half where it was a bombardment, wasn't it? Up at the Arsenal end.
And even in many parts of the second half, he was doing really well defensively, but it was relentless pressure. And finally, that pressure has told. He's got the goal. Now he's going to switch to a more defensive 3-4-3. And hopefully that will be enough for Tiamit. But of course, never say never. He's got 1 goal in this game. Can he get a second? He's not really looked like scoring in the second half, Jose, but now the pressure's on. He might just be able to summon up that moment of glory as the ball gets played over the top. It's time for Tiamit. Will he go for goal? Will he go to the corner? What's he going to do? Well, you're seeing everything about Tiamit's character there. Calm and composed.
Play the percentage football, don't take any risks.
But then he made a mistake.
Bellerin to Welbeck.
And that mistake could be costly.
Here is Bellerin on his right side. He's going to have to shoot, surely. No, he makes the pass. That was a big moment.
6s and 7s at the back there from Tiamit after making that mistake. That ball ricocheted, could have got anywhere. Still in the danger area, headed away. 1 minute remaining. It is the last chance for Jose, who will be, I believe, heading out of this tournament if the results remain the same. With no points from 2 games, it's surely enough to send him